In now for Money Tuesday, and it's a difficult subject to talk about, but one that's so important to discuss. You know, the pandemic has caused a lot of people to try to get their affairs in order. And if you're looking now to start making your will, we do have some tips this morning on how you can make this an easier process than expected. Stewart Welch from the Welch Group joins us now by FaceTime with what you need to know. Good morning, Stewart.
Good morning, Mike.
You know, it's amazing. A lot of people just don't have a will, and we've seen famous celebrities who didn't have a will.
Well, then we have actually a tragic story. I know a lot of people are familiar with Zappos. It's an online shoe sales store that became famous because of their service. They would send you shoes, you could try them on, send them back. You never had to pay any shipping charges. And the founder of that, the CEO of that, died in a tragic accident. And he accumulated like $840 million. So he's like a super bright guy. You would expect him to have a really sophisticated will. And his will consisted of sticky notes. He had sticky notes all over his house. And so,
you know, and if you don't have the legal documents in place, obviously, then you know you could go to for the beneficiaries, your dependents, or whoever's left over. You know, they have to go through probate court, and that can equal a lot of costs, right?
Yeah, my guess is it'll take years and years and probably millions of dollars to eventually settle his estate. And I know everybody doesn't have $840 million,
right,
but it's still really, really important. And there are three elements that we want to talk about.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so we'll start with the will. So the will is kind of your most basic document. It says, here's where I want my stuff to go. That doesn't pass by either title or beneficiary. So remember, a lot of things move by title and beneficiary. For example, if you have a home that you own jointly with a wife or a child, that will move automatically. Or if you have a beneficiary designation, say on life insurance or your 401k, that moves automatically. But like your personal property doesn't. Or if you own the house by yourself, it doesn't. So that's captured in the will. So the first thing you want to have is a will. The second thing you want to have is a power of attorney. So if you were to become incompetent, power of attorney, you've designated someone to step in your stead and make the financial decisions for you, including like paying your bills. So really, really important to have that. And then the third one is the advance directive for health care. And that's two parts. So the first part is the living will. And there you basically state what you want to happen to you at the end of your life. Like, for example, do you want a feeding tube or not? Do you want to be incubated or not? Do you want pain medicine or not? Excuse me, Mike. And so that's part of it. And then the second part of it is you want to have a healthcare power of attorney where you designate someone, if you choose to make decisions if you cannot make them for yourself. So they kind of help make those decisions on your behalf.
All right, and you know, there are a lot of online services where you can get a will done, LegalZoom.com. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with that. And I know it's going to vary depending on your financial situation, how many assets you have. But generally speaking, how much can folks expect to spend on getting an attorney to draw up these documents for them?
Yeah, that can be anywhere from a few $100s, maybe as little as $300 to, you know, thousands. And we worked on a case, the bill was $100,000.
Wow.
So they can be very complex and very complicated. One final point is that if you've moved from one state to another, you need to revisit the will because the state rules are very different. So
Gotcha.
If you had your will drawn when you lived in Louisiana, now you're in Alabama, that will may not work the way you want it to work.
All right, good information, good things to think about. Thank you so much. Stewart Welch from the Welch Group. We appreciate it.